What's going on, guys? Here with the video for you guys on a seat install from Braum Racing, a new sponsor for the build for my 2011 Subaru STI. Here's how the car is right now. Right now I have the stock STI seats. Here are the Braum Racing seats that I got. I got the Elite X all white leather with black stitching. They're really good. Come with all the hardware. Move back and forward. I also got 5-point racing harnesses and a harness bar that we'll go through. I'll show you how to install it on this. So we'll get after it. Alright, so first thing you need to do, there are 4 bolts that hold down the seat, one in each corner of the seat. You got 2 up front and then 2 in the rear. I already got the 2 up front unbolted, and then you just got to climb in the back, unbolt the bottom 2, and then the whole entire seat will be unbolted from the car. After that, you got to unplug I have seat warmers and the sensors for the seat belt and the pressure sensor. Once you unplug all of that, the seat will be ready to just lift out of the car. Alright guys, so these last 2 bolts, there and there, got them unbolted. Flip the seat up, unplug the seat belt and the pressure sensor, and get this seat out of here. Alright guys, so seat's all unbolted. Unbolt the actual seat belt itself. You got a Torx bit. Can't remember exactly what size I used. Got a Torx bit. Unclipped it from underneath the bottom of the seat belt. Now keep in mind, with the Braum Racing seats, if you're going to run harnesses and you're going to get rid of your seat belt like I am, you're going to have that annoying seat belt ding if you don't turn off your sensor. So before you uninstall these, turn off your sensor. So how I did it on my 2011 STI, turn the key on and you clip in the seat belt into the actual seat belt 20 times within the first 60 seconds. Do that, turns it off, and you're good. So now that that's all done, come underneath your seat. This is your main harness coming off the actual car itself. Plugs in, Y's off. You got 2 sensors right here. Unplug them, and then you can drag your seat out. The Torx bit for the actual seatbelt itself is a T50. Alright guys, so seats are all the way out of the car, both sides. Sensors are unplugged. That one's above the carpet. I just tucked it underneath the carpet on this side. That's how I'm going to run it on either side, because the seat's just going to sit over it. So on to the next part. While the seats are out, I'm going to install the harness bar. I got the white universal harness bar. So how you do that, the bracket that goes up here, it replaces your top seatbelt mount. There's a cover that goes right here. Pop that off, exposes the bolt, undo the bolt. I took the spacer off and I put it on the back side right there, as you can see. It's a 14mm bolt. The spacer's perfect so that when you thread that bolt down, it's not going to crush that plastic behind it, and it's going to be tight. Do that on either side, and then I'll get the actual bar on the back side and then mounted. So now with that tightened down, that spacer sits perfectly so that the bar doesn't crush that plastic. And now we can fit that cover back on. You got that OEM look. It also sits nice and flush. Alright, so next step, we're actually going to remove the seatbelt all together out of the car. So we're going to remove this trim piece. And I just wanted to show you guys, when you get in here, be careful. There's this tab that's right here, back right here. This tab right here swings over right here. So when you do it, grab a flathead screwdriver, pry it off of that so you don't break any of your plastic. Alright, so here's a better view of what I was talking about. These plastic tabs, they sit right over top of this plastic right here. So just grab flathead, pry those off, and then it comes off. You got two push tabs right here, and then down below they just slip into some push tabs right there. So then once you pry it back, then you got your seat belt right there. You can just unplug it, unbolt it right there. That's probably another 14, and then you can take it out. And then also there's this bolt up here as well. That's probably about a 10. Alright guys, so seat belt is unplugged and uninstalled. I took these pink plastic clips out of the inside edges of the car and I put them back into the edge so that I can just push the trim back into the car. Time to put the trim all the way back in, and then we'll get this harness bar all the way installed. Alright guys, so this bottom piece where the seatbelt clipped in is where we're going to hook up this other piece from the harness bar. We're going to use the same existing bolt. I'm not going to use any washer or anything. If it slides perfectly through, and the head of the bolt is snug right through that bearing. So we're going to get it connected through. Alright guys, so that lower piece is bolted in, snugged up perfectly. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Remove the seat belt, bolt up the top piece, bolt up the bottom piece, and then we'll get the actual bar in. Alright guys, got a little ahead of myself, but everything is installed. I even went as far as gotten the harnesses in and wrapped around the harness. I'll show you how I did that. Fed it through, and then the access harness I fed back through and then just wrapped up itself, and then I threw a zip tie over it and held itself. Got the shoulder straps ready, so when the seats come in, they are ready to go. Like I said, bolted down right there, bolted down at the bottom. It's a universal harness bar, so you can unscrew and adjust right there so that it all fits perfectly. Ready for the seats, guys. Alright, so we got it all installed. One thing I forgot to mention, this flat portion is the portion that runs underneath and up against the seat, not this rigid portion. Flat piece up against the seat. For mine, I used this top one for the bottom, or back side of the seat, excuse me, and this top hole for the front side of the seat. One done, one more to go. Alright, now that everything is mounted up, we are ready for some seat brackets. These are from Planted Seat Bracket Technology. They come with the Braum. They also come with all the hardware for it, Allen keys, washers, locking nuts, all of it ready to go. I'm going to get these on the back side, and then we can get these in the car. Alright, got the first bracket on. Use this middle one on the top, same middle one on the bottom, both sides. Looking good. Now I just got to do the passenger one. Alright guys, after all the mess, we are all done. Install turned out fantastic. Brackets fit the seat perfectly, fit the stock location perfectly, all 4 locations. Harness bar is awesome. Everything looks super clean. Nice and tidy. One thing I do want to point out, after sitting in the first time, you are a little bit lower. Just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but just a little. Turned out really nice though. That's it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel. There'll be a lot of future installs in the future. Huge shout out to Braum Racing for the seats. Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate all the support for the build. Can't wait for the next one. See ya.
That I've ever seen. Young killer with